Hello students. The last part of the life cycles in plants. So in that few points are yet to tell. So let me explain about that. So alternation of generation, which is found in the sexually reproducing plants, are of three types can be seen: haplontic, diplontic, haplodiplontic. In the haplodiplontic condition, which is found in the bryophytes and pteridophytes, this is how the alternation of generation takes place in their case. In case of bryophytes, see, it's a dominant, independent, photosynthetic, thalloid or erect phase is represented as thalloid gametophytic stage. It alternates with short-lived. It is dominant. Here the sporophytic stage is dominant, and it is not dominant, it's short-lived, and it is multicellular. Okay, the sporophyte condition, and it is totally or partially dependent on the gametophyte. Why it is dependent on the gametophyte? For its anchorage and its nutrition. So here the difference you can see that in the dominant phase in the case of bryophyte, it is gametophytic stage. The dominant is gametophyte, and even sporophytic stage is there, but it is short-lived, and it is multicellular, and it is not free living. So it is partially dependent on what? It dependent on gametophytic. Why it cannot support by itself? Because it cannot derive its nutrition. So it depends on the gametophyte. So that's why the gametophytic stage is dominant. It's like in your class, or sometimes you might have seen in your class, some are able to grasp the things very quickly, some are very good in writing the notes. So in maths and also quickly they will start to find out the answers, and they will show the solution very fastly. So they dominates in the maths class. Now in other class, sometimes drawing, and come to the biology, drawing should be neat, and I used to tell that. So in this case, when in drawing, when it comes, some other student is there who is good in drawing, who can draw very well and can impress. But here, so what is the similar difference? See, one is dominant in case of maths, one is dominant in case of drawing. So likewise, in plant life cycle of bryophytes, in that gametophytic stage is dominant. Okay, it also supports sporophyte. When the one person is good in maths, he is dominant means, why is dominant? He can able to explain to others also. That means he is dominant in case of in that math subject. Another one who is good in drawing, he can support others for drawing. So his good his good knowledge is on drawing. So all other students has to depend on them. So he is dominant in that period. So likewise, in case of bryophyte, the gametophytic stage is dominant, but they show the sporophytic stage, it's not dominant. Why? Because it is short-lived, and it is dependent on the gametophyte for its anchorage and nutrition. Come to the pteridophyte case. In case of pteridophyte, the sporophytic dominant which is dominant in their life cycle, it is sporophytic. Here it is gametophytic. So find out the similarity differences. Okay, to make you clear about that concept, I have written again. Otherwise, we already almost completed that portion. So this concept you will avoid writing and all. So you have to listen to that also. You have to mention these points also. In this case of pteridophytes, which are the pteridophytes? Can you name a plant which belongs to pteridophytes? It is ferns. Fine. Pteridophytes, dominant phase is sporophyte. It is, why it is, I said, maths, a person who is good in maths, he need not to depend on others. He is independent. So he is dominant. He can prepare his notes by himself. Right? So he is dominant. So here sporophyte is dominant, independent, photosynthetic, and it is a vascular plant body. Okay, here it was not having the vascular tissue. Just in the before video I said the pteridophytes are the first terrestrial plants to possess the vascular tissues. Okay, let us go to the next one. So next about their gametophytic generation. So this independent, dominant, photosynthetic plant body alternates with a, again it is also multicellular. Here also multicellular. Sporophytic, independent. Here it was not independent, it was dependent. Here it is independent. Independent. Then short-lived. Here also short-lived. Which was short-lived? There it was sporophyte was short-lived. Here in the case of gametophytic stage is short-lived, and it is short-lived haploid gametophyte. Then, okay, so this is the major difference with the life cycle of bryophytes and pteridophytes. Remember, here main points to remember, you just think which is dominant, okay, and which is short-lived. So anyhow, you know that in bryophyte, gametophyte is dominant and it is thalloid, because bryophytes have not developed the true plant body structures, and it is erect and thalloid, against the same. Then what about the sporophyte? This stage is alternates. Why this symbol I used is alternates. It alternates with short-lived, okay. So it is short-lived, multicellular, sporophyte, and it is totally or partially dependent on the gametophyte for its nutrition and anchorage. That's why sporophyte is not dominant in their life cycle. So which is dominant phase in the case of bryophyte? It is gametophyte. In the pteridophyte, which is dominant? It is sporophytic stage is the dominant. Why it is dominant? Here the sporophytic stage is dominant because it is independent. I said no. Who can do their work by themselves? They are independent. They can be dominant in a group. They can dominate others. Right? So it is independent. They are able to photosynthesis and they are having the vascular tissue. So obviously they are the dominant stage in their life cycle. When come to the gametophytic stage, they are multicellular and they are autotrophic, independent, but they are short-lived. This is a one point which made them not dominant. Okay, short-lived haploid gametophyte. So this is how the plant life cycle takes place in the case, or alternation of generation takes place in the sexually reproducing plant. So haplontic found in the algae, example Volvox, Chlamydomonas, Spirogyra. Then diplontic found in angiosperms and gymnosperms. Haplodiplontic is found in the case of bryophytes and pteridophytes. The last one, exceptional case. I said always there will be exception in the case of biology. So some of the examples which doesn't comes under this group. In the sense, even though algae we said that it comes under the haplontic group, there is an exception is there. Ectocarpus polysiphonia kelps. Okay, kelps is a marine algae. Okay, so which can grow into large algae, I said. So Ectocarpus polysiphonia kelps. These three examples to show the exceptional case from the haplontic life cycle, they belongs to the same category, that is haplodiplontic life cycle. They belongs to haplodiplontic life cycle. Then again, fucus, it's an alga. Fucus is an alga which comes under the life cycle of diplontic. Okay, so for NEET and all, you can expect this kind of questions as exceptional cases, or some of the cases where they doesn't belong to any of the categories. So this is the examples you should remember. Okay, so Ectocarpus polysiphonia kelps comes under the haplodiplontic. You have studied this. Polysiphonia and kelps we have used in the case of algae, marine algae, brown algae. There we have studied. Fucus is another alga. So it belongs to the category diplontic. So by this we have come to the end of the chapter Plant Kingdom. Okay, so Plant Kingdom chapter is important considering the board as well as competitive exams, you may find difficult to remember the terms, but once you understand that concepts, it is easy to remember. So best method is write and learn and make all the points, write down the notes clearly and include the diagrams with the labeling wherever is required. Here one diagram which I told you how to draw, that is a life cycle of angiosperm as well as the life cycle patterns. Both diagram you must learn for the exams as well as you must include in your notebook also. Okay. So thereby we have completed how many chapters? We have completed 2 chapters in biology, that is biological classification. Now plant kingdom also completed. So all must complete your work, complete the assignments. In case any doubts are there, please ask the doubts and clear your doubts. Let us move on to the again very important with respect to the biology, the board as well as for your competitive exam. Then one more very important thing, very interesting thing, very interested aspect, right? We love to know about the animals, right? Animals are the species or group of animals which improves it, which enhances the beauty of the nature. Is it just if I tell about the life, or if I just ask you to tell something related to life, there will be one animal name will be there in your explanation, because life means animals, right? So we have thousands of animals. So what are the species? 1.5 million 5 million species are there on our earth. Okay, how many types of animals? 1.5 million species of animals are there on our earth. So life around us is many types of life is there around us, which enhances the beauty of our earth, and it includes. Okay, so it may include all the category, especially from lower group of animals to the large type of animals. So it also helps to analyze the evolution process. This animals, when we are studying with the class wise, with the from smallest to largest, there is some link we are able to get how they get evolved from the birds to reptiles to mammals. So evolutionary they have the significance. By studying this animal kingdom, we can also come to know about their evolutionary relationship. So then also one more thing is that they have these animals, as the human beings or higher category of animals, how they show the behavior, the same behavior can be seen among the animals too. For example, that all the jumping, some of them can dance also. You know that they are widely used for the purpose of commercial purpose, as they are used for earning money also. They train the elephant, they train some of the monkeys, and they'll earn money, right? So it is a source of income for some of the people as well as. And think about the animal breeding, or cow, buffalo, dairy farm, poultry farm. So all here, or in all these cases, human beings are able to obtain or able to lead their life with the help of these animals also. So now let us how they evolved from the single cell and to multicellular forms, from bacteria to eukaryotic. So all those happened within this evolutionary period. Okay, so there is one chapter, or there is one topic is there in biology, that's evolution, which relates, or which study of story of life, how the life began on earth is can be learnt in that chapter, in that topic. So here this animals, group of animals, have another significance to study the evolutionary history also, right? How this first one who has started to obtained this earth first. Okay, then it was unicellular, then it was cyanobacteria, then came to the eukaryotic, then became the multicellular form, and then also about the then from that various groups have started to evolve. And you know that in the various geological period, various animals were dominant. For example, the dinosaurs, which is it is highly used in some of the Bollywood movies. So the Jurassic period was well known for the dinosaurs, but that Jurassic period, the dinosaurs were very dominant, and later they started to get extinct. And still you can see some of the features of these dinosaurs in the reptiles too. So there's reasons are there, many reasons are there for their extinction. Maybe due to their lack of food, or they have gradually evolved into another form. So all those info which is always have some which leads to the debate later. So like that we don't have an exact answer for those questions, but still there is a proof that some of the features are still existing in other animals. So let us understand now that animals can be studied by classifying it. So before studying anything, let us classify the animals or plants, so it makes our work easy. It's like categorizing in the different items and putting into the various buckets. So it helps us to analyze, and it helps us to compare their features, and it makes our study easy. So let us understand now first what is the basis of classification in animal, how it is classified, what are the basis for this classification of animals. So even though there are differences are there, some of the similarities also are there. Okay, you may not think about that. So for example, so some of the small animals, even mammal, which comes under the category of mammals, if you compare with the rat and if you compare with the elephant, some common features are there among them, right? So there are some, in spite of the differences in structure and different form, there are fundamental features are common to all these group of animals. So how they are related to each other with respect to their body organization, structure of their body organization, or with respect to their system. Okay, likewise. Now when I talked about the animals, just thought of telling you, just you might have heard the days or observed the days for tiger day or like that. So biodiversity day and all. So we are lucky to have those animals on our earth. Those biodiversity only have a lot of importance to us in completing the ecosystem. The ecosystem will not complete without these animals group. They have an equal role in maintaining the balance in our ecosystem. Especially if you see in our Western Ghats and all, we have some of the peculiar amphibians which cannot be seen in other areas. So each area has its own importance. So there is no chance, we don't have any right to pollute, or we don't have a go against this diversity. So let us go along with the diversity, and let us save this diversity of our nature and follow the rules and regulations which is towards the nature, which has which can play a vital role in reducing their population. Let us start with what are the features? Okay, so they may have with respect to their cells, okay, how the cells are arranged, or with respect to their body symmetry. So the classification is made based on their arrangement of cells, then body symmetry, then nature of coelom. Okay, so basis for the classification is then pattern of digestive system, then what else system we have, circulatory system, etc. So arrangement of cells. So the class animals are classified based on the basis for the classification of these animals are arrangement of cells, whether they are unicellular